People talk about trauma like it's something that happened back then, like it has a timestamp. Like once the event is over, so is the damage. But trauma doesn't live in the past. It lives in the body, in reactions you don't choose, in fear that shows up before logic does. You can be years away from what hurt you and still feel like it's happening again. That's the confusing part. You'll be doing fine, then something small happens. A tone of voice, a silence, a look. And suddenly you're not here anymore. You're back there. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts race. You feel unsafe without knowing why. And the worst part is having to explain that to people. Because from the outside, nothing is wrong. So they say things like, just let it go. That was a long time ago. You're overthinking. But trauma doesn't respond to logic. It responds to safety. And if your nervous system learned that the world isn't safe, it doesn't forget that lesson easily. I think what hurts most is how trauma changes how you see yourself. You start questioning your reactions. Why am I like this? Why can't I just be normal? Why does this still affect me? You feel broken, behind, too sensitive. So you start minimizing your pain to make other people comfortable. You tell yourself, others had it worse. It wasn't that bad. I should be over this. But pain doesn't work on comparisons. Your nervous system doesn't care what should hurt. It only remembers what did. And dealing with trauma is exhausting. Not in a dramatic way, in a quiet, constant way. You're always managing yourself, monitoring your emotions, trying not to overreact, trying not to shut down. It's like living life with the volume turned up too high. And people don't see that. They just see someone who's distant, or guarded, or inconsistent. They don't see the effort it takes just to feel okay. And that invisibility can feel almost as painful as the trauma itself. I think the biggest lie about healing is that one day you wake up and you're fixed. Like trauma just evaporates and you become calm, confident, untouched. That doesn't really happen. Healing is quieter than that. It's not about erasing what happened. It's about changing how much power it has over you. And that takes time. Sometimes healing looks like catching yourself before a spiral, instead of stopping it completely. Sometimes it looks like needing space, and not hating yourself for it. Sometimes it looks like setting boundaries, and feeling guilty anyway, but doing it regardless. Progress isn't dramatic. It's boring, slow, non-linear. Some days you feel okay and think, maybe I'm past this. Then something triggers you and it feels like you're right back at the start. That doesn't mean you failed. It means your nervous system is still learning. Healing is teaching your body what your mind already knows. That you're safe now. That you have choices. That you don't have to react the same way anymore. And bodies learn slowly. Another hard truth is that healing can feel like grief. Because as you heal, you start realizing how much you lost. Time, ease, versions of yourself that never got to exist. And that mourning is part of it. You're not just healing from what happened. You're grieving what didn't. And that deserves patience. What's helped me is letting go of the idea that healing should make me normal. I don't need to be unmarked. I just need to be kinder to myself about the marks I carry. Trauma didn't make you weak. It made you adaptive. And now healing is about updating those adaptations to fit the life you're in now, not the danger you survived then. So if you're dealing with trauma and it feels slow or messy or invisible, you're not doing it wrong. You're doing something incredibly difficult in a world that rushes pain and misunderstands quiet effort. Be patient with yourself. You're not behind, you're healing.